Coming to you from 6,224 feet in Castle Rock, Colorado.
This is Inside Castle Rock.
I'm Chris DiCillo, hospitality trainer, leadership and presentation coach, and a local resident the past 2 years.
I'm Brian Cowdery, a professional real estate agent, and I've lived in town for over a decade.
Check out our latest episode as we welcome you inside Castle Rock. Welcome to episode 2 of Inside Castle Rock. We are so excited to be coming to you from Crave Real Burgers. And more importantly, we are joined by Aletha Roundy, who's one of the co-owners of Crave. So we're excited to spend some time and get to know a little bit about her business, and her story. Yes. So Aletha, it's so wonderful to have you with us. Thanks for agreeing to be on episode 2.
Yeah, thanks for having us and thinking of us to be on your show.
Well, Aletha, if I were to put into words what my spirit animal is in life, it is burgers. And anyone that will ever ask me about what my favorite burgers are in Castle Rock, it is a easy choice of Crave Real Burgers. And I've been saying that probably since before I ever started doing a podcast. Oh, yeah. So we're just excited to get to know you and find out a little bit more about you. So can you give us a bit of your story? Because I know you and your co-owner, Sal, are both originally from Castle Rock.
We are, yes. I was born and raised here. My parents still live in the same house that I grew up in.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Which part of town is that in?
It's over by the fairgrounds, like Baldwin Park kind of area.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, that's where I grew up. I went to the schools here. I graduated from Douglas County High School.
So you are Castle Rock through and through.
I know it.
Yeah,
I knew Castle Rock before this building was even here.
Castle Rock before it was cool.
It was.
Before it was cool.
It's cool now.
Yeah. I know it's super cool now, but it was like even cool back then. People just didn't know it yet.
Yeah.
So if there was a bumper sticker, you would definitely get to put the native bumper sticker on your seat. I get the semi-native one. Because I've only been here for like 12 years. Okay. But I love when I get to
Castle Rock or Colorado?
In Colorado in general. Okay. Castle Rock, I've been here about 2 years.
Okay.
Brian's got a lot more time in this
I've been here since 2010. So, but I grew up in the spring, so we always used to drive through Castle Rock. And it was nothing.
Yeah.
You know, then.
Everyone's just like, oh, it's just Alamo.
That's what they really thought it was.
That's what they absolutely think
That's what they thought it was.
Yeah, for sure.
What's so funny is there's that door behind you. People are just going to try to come in, and if they do, I'm just going to wave at them, say hi.
No,
That's right.
It's locked.
So they won't be able to break in.
I wanted to hear a story a little bit about. Tell us when you first joined the Crave team, because I know you didn't start Crave.
No.
But tell us a little bit about how you came to be a part of the Crave team.
Yeah, of course. So I joined the Crave team in 2012. I actually joined in the Highlands Ranch location. So Jeff and Jaron, the previous owners, the original owners, the founders, this was their first location here in Castle Rock, and then they opened one in Colorado Springs, Highlands Ranch, and downtown Denver eventually.
No, I don't think I knew that. I thought it was just here locally.
Yeah,
so good to know.
But all 4 of those were run and operated by Jeff and Jaron. So it's still like really that small business feeling.
Family feeling.
Yep.
Yeah,
right. And pop shop at all the locations. I ended up working at all the locations. At
you
one
did?
point. Yeah, just hopping around, helping out at all of them.
Gotcha.
So I actually did that through college. I went to college to be an elementary teacher. I actually taught 4th grade here in Douglas County for 7 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So more involved in the community in that way as well.
Yeah.
While I was teaching, I worked for Jeff and Jaron, just serving tables for some extra cash part-time.
Yeah.
On the weekends, at night for dinner. So my face has definitely been around here since 2012.
Right.
Which is crazy to think about.
It feels like a different life almost.
This is the OG location.
This is, yep.
I like that we're filming at the source.
Yeah.
I like that we're going to do that here because I knew there was multiple locations.
Yeah.
I'd mentioned to Brian, so when I was working in restaurants and I was overseeing F&B for 4 seasons up in Denver, we went to the Denver Burger Battle. And I'll never forget this moment. I was there with our executive chef, Simon Purvis. We'd brought a really nice burger to the competition, but you're going around and tasting what everybody else has. And I got to the Crave booth, and I didn't know anything about Crave. And they were doing, and I forget which one it was that has the fried cheddar cheese patty.
Yeah, the Sin City.
The Sin City. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, look at the
Thank you. Velvet Elvis.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this is for me, not Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Thank you so much. So I remember I went over there, and I had the Sin City. And they were cutting them in quarters. And I ran back to our booth and I found him and I said two things. Number one, you have to taste this burger. And number two, we're not going to win. I just knew. And that
That's
burger
awesome.
ended up winning that
It
competition.
did. It did.
So for
That's
me,
amazing.
that was like, I discovered Crave. It's so funny. I discovered it in 2012
Yeah, that's
at
awesome.
that burger
That's
battle.
awesome.
So
Right.
our stories began to intertwine. We just didn't know it yet.
Perfect.
Here we are 12 years later.
That's awesome.
Exactly. And I know you co-own it with Sal. So did you and Sal meet, did you meet as colleagues at work?
Yeah, for the most part. He worked here. I want to say he was here almost from the very, very beginning in 2010. So
Okay.
this location opened in 2010.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he worked in Castle Rock, and like I said, I started in Highlands Ranch.
Okay.
And my brother-in-law actually got me the job there. I started there as just a host.
Okay. Interesting.
And my brother-in-law worked for Jeff and Jer, and he was a manager. He managed this one when it opened and the one in Highlands Ranch. He lives in Las Vegas now. I
Okay.
wish he was a part of this.
Yeah.
But,
sure.
him and his family have a life out there.
That's amazing.
Yeah. So, anyways, met Sal kind of through, because like I said, it was still that small business feeling, mom and pop shop. So
Right.
all of the locations, like, we all really got to know each other.
That's
Just by like
Look at
me
culture.
picking up shifts here, or Sal picking up shifts in Highlands Ranch, or
Yeah.
meeting downtown Denver when that location was open.
Sure.
So we really got to know each other that way. We've been here for 11, 12 years
That's a long
together
time.
now. So
Yeah.
we really,
So you really experience like every part of the restaurant, really.
Yeah.
Like you know
Yeah.
it in and
Yeah.
out. You know the whole
Yeah.
history.
there
So you're
were-
not just an owner. Like you actually
Yeah.
you've lived and breathed this restaurant,
yeah,
right?
it's
For a
been
long
fun.
time.
And Chuck and Sharon, the original owners, are just
Uh-huh.
great people.
That's awesome.
And
So tell us, how did that transition go from
well,
them to you?
it's actually funny because
Yeah.
Sal and I, we really connected from like day one when we started working together. And we always have this like these big thoughts of like, what are we gonna do next? We did like real
Nice.
estate school together.
Oh,
We like
nice.
it was like, yeah, we're like, what are we gonna do next? And it was funny because one day, it must have been in 2022-ish, Jeff was back here working, and he goes, or I don't remember the whole conversation, just like, how's life, whatever.
Right.
And I'm like, life's good. I'm just waiting for you to hand me over Crave. And it was just kind of like a joke
Yes.
Right.
type thing. And he was like, well, actually.
No. Oh my god.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
That's
isn't
awesome.
that funny?
So you're both.
So, yeah.
It was kind of an offhanded comment, just
Correct.
joking.
Correct.
But he was like, "Oh, well, maybe
Correct.
this could
Yeah.
happen."
And
That's amazing.
he sat me down a couple days later, and he's like, this is top secret, but we're thinking about retiring sometime
Oh, wow.
soon. So if you're really serious, like, let's look into it.
Oh,
And of course, like I said, Sal and I have always had these like big dreams of doing something really big together. And here we are.
wow.
That is so
That-
odd. And that was in
Yeah.
2022.
Yeah, we took over February of 2023.
Okay.
That is, we're almost at your 2-year anniversary.
Yeah. We are.
Congratulations.
Thank
Nicely
you.
done.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
And you own all the locations, or just?
So this is the only one left.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Jeff and Sharon closed the other locations before they sold this one to me.
Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Keeping
But,
the OG.
yeah.
Yeah.
We have big dreams of opening more. And
Sure. It's a lot of work, I
It is
imagine.
a lot of work.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to get up on my feet. I'm on my feet. That
Yes.
was a lot.
Yeah, but restaurants are a grind.
right.
Tricky
Restaurants
Right.
are a grind.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
Yeah.
That's
So
amazing.
it's been fun.
Love
Brian
it.
and I have similar conversations. We want to figure out what we want to be when we grow up.
You're right.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
would be. We should talk about that.
We-
Yeah, really should.
I should talk about some of it. It's awkward. So,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I was going to say, so like you talked a little bit about kind of family culture and things like that, but
Mhm.
can you tell us a little bit more, maybe some stories you have around the culture of Crave, the employees, like what is it like to work here?
We strive. This happens all day long every day.
I'm sure.
We strive to just have that like really welcoming presence at Crave. That's how we train our employees. We have so many return guests. People who have known me for the whole 12 years that I've worked here, whatever. There's Max is here right now, one of our customers who comes in every Thursday at this time on the dot. I watch him walk in. So it's like,
Oh, that's amazing.
we strive for that, to get those return customers and to
Yeah.
really get to know the community, so that when we're out and about, when we're at Walmart or Target, they're like, you're the one that works at Crave.
Yeah.
And we strive for that. We actually have a really, really good staff. Our turnover rate is not that big here.
Nice.
Just because we are like a little family, and when we're
Yeah.
here, we like to be a family. I like to get to know my employees. I like to get to know me. We like to get to know our customers. And when a family sits down at a table, it's like that's what we strive to do. Is what are you out doing? Are you from Castle Rock? Oh, you're at the Outlet Mall. You should
Nice.
try doing this.
Instead of like, what do you
Castle Rock.
want? Yeah, let's get you your order and get you out of here.
Exactly.
It's
Yeah.
like more transactional.
Oh, totally.
And it's
Right.
more here about like kind of the relationships.
Right.
Do you feel like that's kind of one of the things that makes? Oh my goodness! Did you do? Not, you're not interrupting anybody.
You ordered
like-
2 shakes, Chris?
No, why did you do that? Well, you weren't having one, buddy, so I wouldn't have two.
I know, that's true.
No.
You did it.
This is the s'more.
Let's talk about these real
Okay,
quick.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
we always
Great.
like featuring a beverage. It was one of the ideas Brian and I came up with. So we had coffee in the first episode. So we've got Velvet Elvis. So what's going on in Velvet Elvis?
Okay, this is one of my favorites, and
Okay.
people get scared of it because there's bacon in it.
Yeah.
But it's bacon, banana, hot fudge, pecans, peanut butter, all blended together.
Oh my gosh.
It is like
That sounds
people are
phenomenal.
so scared of it, but it's so good.
No, but I mean, bacon makes everything better.
Bacon makes everything better.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, how could it go wrong? And it
What-
looks.
Doesn't it look fantastic?
The artistry with it is
Yeah.
really cool too.
The banana fanned out.
Yes.
Now, when we were choosing the shakes, you'd mentioned that you were going to get the one that was probably like the best seller.
Yeah, this is the s'more. This is probably our number one seller.
Okay.
There's an actual s'more and roasted marshmallows squished into these graham crackers.
Oh my gosh.
There's roasted marshmallows blended with it as well.
I want that job. What do you do? I'm the s'more maker for Crave. You know, what else do you do? That's it.
Right.
I camp and I make s'mores. That's it. I
all
toast
day
marshmallows.
long.
Yeah,
All
it's
day
funny.
long.
They have a torch back there, and they're just torching
Just torching all the time.
marshmallows all day
I
long.
love that.
I was being polite and waited for yours for what? Can
Oh,
I,
thank
do you mind
you.
if I dive
Yeah,
in?
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've got to try this.
tell us what you think. The only reason I'm not having one is because I'm on a keto diet, so I'm eliminating like all sugar right now.
You're better than
Good
us.
for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you are.
no, I'm not. I'm just living less of a life right now.
There you go.
So,
My
so I'm just gonna stick to water, which has no bacon or anything that tastes,
bacon-free
good
water.
like that.
I like that.
Right.
Very nice. Very nice. For our Jewish viewers,
There you go.
it's very friendly for them. We
Yes,
appreciate that.
Exactly. I'm gonna represent them.
My wife's a big. I mentioned she's a big Oreo Speedwagon, not Oreo Speedwagon. Just like the music,
That's different.
but she likes Oreo Speedwagon. So she and our daughter will usually split one of those when we come into
Yeah.
Crave, and it's like one of her little comfort foods that she loves to have.
That's
That one's
awesome.
good too with the coffee.
Oh, it's got coffee
Yeah.
in it.
We
Oh.
don't tell our daughter it has it, but she does have a nice upward spike afterwards. Maybe I should regulate a little bit more.
I am so curious, like from your shakes to your burgers. I mean, that's one thing that some people who've been here know. If they've never been here, you've got such unique
hmm
ideas and combinations of things you do that are so creative with everything, like putting bacon in a shake.
Right.
But you do that with your burgers too. What's that process of coming up with those? Like,
I
where do
wish
these
I could
ideas come from?
say
Yeah.
that I'm the one who did it, but I'm not. I'm not. Jeff Richard is the mastermind behind all of these recipes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So we just adopted his menu. We do specials every month.
Yeah.
And so we let some of our kitchen staff kind of like collaborate
Oh,
and
nice.
be like, let's try this, let's try
Yeah.
this. And we do a lot of collaboration back there for monthly specials.
Okay.
But as far as the menu goes, that's all Jeff. And we adopted it.
I
and
love
It's good to give honor to the founder, right?
We're carrying it on for him.
Yeah.
This
That's
is
awesome.
this is like the Crave generation 2.0.
100%.
And so it gives you and Sal a chance. And what a great way to lean into the relationship with your team by allowing them to have some say in that, as
Right.
opposed to I'm the boss, I'm going to create it. No,
Right.
cooks. I think cooks are artists,
Yeah.
and for them to be able to express themselves through that. And I'm probably 60-40
Uh-huh.
ordering off of the menu versus ordering one of the special burgers.
Mhm.
And I love that some of the special burgers, I'll see them come back around
Yeah.
again. So it's like they're not never again,
Right.
but they're not in every
All the
single
time.
moment,
Right.
and that makes them in a way really unique.
Yeah.
Something I look forward to.
We had we still go to the Denver Burger Battle. So this last year in
Okay.
2024, we went to the Burger Battle, and we brought one that we actually collaborated and built ourselves without Jeff. Just because we wanted to make our
Yeah,
presence
yeah.
like we didn't want to
Bring
use
one.
a burger that has already
Sure.
won
Right.
or whatever. We kind of wanted to like
It's
do
the
our
fresh
own thing.
competition.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
right.
exactly. So that was fun.
That's
That
awesome.
burger is not on our menu, but it will be in the future.
Oh,
Fantastic.
yes.
Any
Love it.
teaser for the viewers as to what it might be?
Yeah, I'll let you know. It was called the Gorgonzilla. So
Okay.
we did.
That's what we call Brian.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good name.
Especially if I haven't eaten in a while.
Exactly. It's hangry.
That's
Very
funny.
angry.
It was peppercorn crusted patty. We did some gorgonzola on it, pesto aioli. Yeah, mushrooms,
man.
grilled mushrooms, lettuce, tomato, onions. It was.
That sounds
We
amazing.
won second place, judges award.
Second place, congrats. That's
That almost
awesome.
sounds like a bit of a riff on the Wise Guy and the truffle one that you guys did.
Yeah,
Kind of some flavors in
kinda
there
was.
put together.
Yeah.
Those are both. I mean, I've never eaten here before. Those are both burgers that I've enjoyed many, many times.
Have you worked here
Yeah.
too? Feels like you've been
I
here.
haven't, but I should.
Like really high.
You've been here enough. That's
Uh,
awesome.
You know, shifting a little bit, I love that we've gotten to know a little bit about you and Crave. What are some other businesses in Castle Rock that you really admire?
Yeah, I love everything downtown Castle Rock.
Everything about downtown Castle
Everything
Rock.
about downtown
Nice.
Castle Rock. Everything. All the little shops, the restaurants down there, Castle Cafe. That
Yeah,
is a staple. Like
That's been here forever.
hand fried chicken.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Hand fried
Yes,
chicken.
Yes.
Where would we find you in downtown Castle Rock if you're just like on a day off enjoying yourself? What's your ideal kind of like hopping around downtown?
All right, if we're talking breakfast, you'll find me at B&B Cafe for sure.
Good choice.
Yeah,
Can't
yeah,
go
That
wrong
is-
there.
exactly.
You can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
No,
Their
so
food
good.
is so good.
Right.
And the service there is phenomenal.
It's awesome.
They're just like
Yeah.
getting people in and out all day
they're
long.
on top of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It's awesome. Yeah, their skillet, their breakfast skillet,
Oh.
potato, so good. With some
Their
green
English
chili on
muffins.
top.
I'm never eating
I love
after
it.
this because I'm getting so
I
hungry.
know, right?
Or their cinnamon roll
Yes.
for
Yeah.
a little breakfast appetizer.
So-
You can't go wrong with
Who doesn't need
that.
a cinnamon roll for an appetizer? It's like
Right.
it's basically a salad.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
Same
It
thing.
is.
What about other places in downtown?
You'll usually find me. You know what? I love the office and the library, and then those guys are really good guys.
Yeah.
And so if I'm going out for like a happy hour, I'll go to their places. I love the Great Divide. That
Yeah. Especially right on
atmosphere.
River Rock
yeah,
walk there
that
and everything.
atmosphere is
Yeah.
so fun.
That's awesome.
But
Sure.
yeah,
Those are some good local spots.
Yeah.
more
I
fun.
love that we mentioned Castle Cafe too, because I think that's one of the places when
Yeah.
people visit. I always think I should take them to either B&B or I should take them
Yeah.
to Castle Cafe. I usually default to B&B because it's like, let's get breakfast and then start our day.
Mhm.
But they're both such great staples in the community.
They really are. Yeah. So
Yeah, go ahead.
since we're talking about Castle Rock and the community, like I said, you've been here forever. Yeah, which is awesome. How, like, as you kind of think about like the Castle Rock community, how has that really impacted your life and your business? And we're not talking just business, right? Like personally
Yeah.
as well. How's that really impacted you throughout the years, even before you owned the business and up to now? Like,
Mhm.
do you have any stories that you can share with us, or anything that's kind of unique that most people wouldn't know?
About Castle Rock. I mean, I can say that I'm just very proud to be part of this community. Just like
Yeah.
Castle Rock is huge compared to when I was even a teenager.
I bet.
So back then it's like let's walk into the store and you're gonna know everyone. That was me. I knew everyone at the store.
Wow.
I mean, it's a little bit bigger now, but it's still I can't go out in public without knowing one. I can't even serve one shift too without someone coming in that
I
I
bet.
know. So I love that about Castle Rock. I love even like the social media presence that became a thing in the last like 10 years. Dad's at Castle Rock Talk, all these like that. I'm just so proud to be part of this community with how
Yeah.
people come together.
Yeah.
Not only when like tragedy happens, but even good things. When people are like, "This happened to me today," and you have 1,000 comments being like, "That's
Right.
awesome, congratulations," or
Totally.
I saw some kid help someone across the street today, and they posted on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
really cool that I'm part of the community like that.
There's also all the heads up when there was that lady that was like over by the outlets.
Oh yeah,
She had like the back lady with a cart.
Yes.
And they'd be like, warning, she's on the prowl.
Yeah.
Don't let her in your car. And if you're from Castle Rock, you know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
And if you're not, just be warned when you come
Yeah.
visit us.
I
That's
wouldn't know
right.
anything unless
I've actually heard that she's playing that same game in Highland Ranch now.
I have heard
She's
that.
moving, which is
yes.
we wish her
She's
the
like, we
best.
found her.
Yeah.
We wish her the best.
Kind of.
Good riddance.
Exactly. We hope it's a good move for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Hope it's a good move.
Love it.
Thinking about what else we talked about, kind of places, hangouts. Oh, what about activities? What are some activities like in and around the community that you like to do, especially as someone that's born and raised here?
Yeah, I like to do all of the little Castle Rock activities, like the star lighting. I've been going to the star lighting since I was born.
Wow.
And like I
Okay,
said,
so when you were younger, how big was that?
Not that big.
No. I can imagine.
Well, back then it was only like Wilcox Street. That was it. But for downtown
But you still
Castle.
have vendors and like people kind of sponsoring. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. Yeah.
The fair, the rodeo, the parade, like
Yeah.
I've been doing that my whole entire life here in
Wow.
Castle Rock.
That's
So
awesome.
those are fun things that I like to do.
Yeah.
The rec center and the MAC have just gotten so big. So like and I have tons of nieces and nephews now, and they're always playing sports.
Yeah.
And so it's fun to just like be a part of the
Totally.
community that way.
Yeah.
Obviously, I taught here, so we did a lot of like I was part of the parade, just marching in it through my church and through schools and whatever. So
Right.
yeah.
What church do you attend?
Creekside Bible Church.
Okay, Brian and I,
Yeah.
even though we didn't, I think, meet through Front Range,
No, we didn't.
but we go to Front Range Church together, and it was interesting when Front Range started here, and they were a portable church up until this last
Yeah.
fall. I remember Ernest Smith telling a story, the lead pastor, about going to the mayor and saying, "Hey, how can we help
Yeah.
with the parade?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, everybody wants to put up a booth or advertise their thing." He goes, "We need somebody to clean up."
Yeah.
And so this was the first year I brought my daughter Emma, who's 6, right? Try to teach kids these things early.
Yeah.
And it was, again, before we started this, Brian and I were there like with our kids,
Right.
going through, doing the whole parade thing, and then going
Picking
back
up all the
through,
rubbers and the gum.
picking up all the
Sweeping
crap.
it out.
And
Yeah.
that's not like a nod to us as much
No.
as it's like, I love the presence of just community
Yeah.
cleaning up its community. You
Yeah.
could easily be like, "Oh, that's on the floor. Somebody else will get
Right.
that." No, like it's our community.
Yeah.
If
Right.
we leave it, then people aren't going to respect it.
Right.
So I think that's so special that you got to see it when it was kind of in its infancy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And imagine like little Aletha like walking through like a little, like waving a little banner.
Right.
We're like cheering as she's
Yeah.
going through. And now
Right.
it's like successful business.
That's
owner.
right. Yeah.
Tell her in the
Try.
community. Maybe. Maybe.
One thing I think I'm really picking up from you that I really appreciate is like, I imagine there's a lot of people who've lived here a long time and they don't like the growth and they don't like the new things that have come out of it and stuff like that. To me, it seems like for you, you're like, bring it on to some degree,
Right.
because we're still, I think even as big as we've gotten, we've still stayed small
Yeah.
in a lot of ways,
That's what I love.
Yeah. And I think that's awesome. In those changes, what do you think have been some like really positive things you've seen? I don't know, just in Castle Rock that,
As it's getting bigger,
as it's gotten bigger.
my property value.
Well, I mean, that's helped us all out real well.
Brian's a real estate agent. She just made
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. Yeah, I mean that's a plus.
For
But
sure.
What positives have I seen? It's just special that people want to move here, right?
Yeah.
That people want this little Hallmark town that
It's
we
desirable.
have.
Right. Totally.
Yeah.
I was talking to somebody this morning and we were talking about, he's a new guy to a networking group that we're a part of.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like where I came from, there's nothing like this.
Yeah.
The guy from North Carolina.
Like I'm from North Carolina. And I said, honestly, I don't know that there are very many places anywhere that have this type of community,
Right.
close knit, where you can get together and help each other out. Like you said, help each other out, talk about the good things. When bad things happen, this community rallies like nobody else,
Yeah.
and it's just very special. It's
Yeah.
something that I just don't think you get very many places.
It's funny because in my college years, it's funny, all of my friends at that age were like, oh, Castle Rock, like, let's go to Denver, let's do this. But now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, I never want to leave. I don't hardly ever get past Lincoln.
I was in
Right.
downtown yesterday, and I
You
used to
try
spend a
not
lot
to.
of time in downtown Denver. And I was there having lunch with an old coworker of mine, a guy that's become a good buddy of mine. She's getting out of the military. And he had said to me, he goes, it's tough to find a place to grab lunch. A lot of the restaurants have shut down. And then I look at the juxtaposition from that to Castle Rock,
Uh-huh.
where we're in like a set, an arena of growth and expansion.
Yeah.
And I think to your point with the social media and your point about that networking group, I think that can only start when you're in a certain size and we're not too small, we're not too big. But I feel like, and this is just my hypothesis, because it started now at this size, as the community grows, those things will stay.
Yeah.
But if you tried to wait till we're at like, God forbid, like 200,000 people, I don't think you'd be able to
It'd be
make
real
that work.
hard to get
Right.
it to work.
Very much so.
Yeah.
Because you still run into people at Crave or coffee shops or
Right.
B&B, Sam's, Costco,
Yeah.
which will be here soon. Not soon enough.
Yeah.
I'm still driving a lone tree. Still driving a lone tree, Costco. Come
That's
on.
a nightmare.
2027. 2027. It's
I'll
coming.
be here no time.
It's no time. We'll be doing the second episode of Crave.
Yeah.
And Sal joins us.
No, that's right.
Can you tell us a little? This is one of the ones and she was a little nervous. We said we're not going to tell the questions,
Right.
right? Can you tell us a secret about yourself? What's something about you that most people don't know?
I'm an open book.
You're an open
Yeah.
book.
Everybody
What
knows
do you
everything.
wanna
Huh?
Hey, good news. That doesn't count. So try again.
Right.
What is a secret about me that no one
Something your hobbies or things you've done in, growing up here.
Don't you put her secret in a box.
Okay, I'm just saying.
No
just
box
trying
for
to
the
help her give
secret.
us some ideas. Where's the secret outside of it?
What do you think?
Like that you guys don't know? That my
Yeah,
staff doesn't know?
Most people would.
Or something that someone might find interesting that they would have no idea.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Okay, a passion of mine. This may not be a secret because I was a teacher, and that's like my passion.
Yeah.
To be honest, if someone asks me what my passion is, and it's not flipping burgers or managing a Saturday night when my staff is acting crazy. My passion is actually for the youth and for kids and for teaching and all of that. So. I'm not sure if this is a secret, but something I really miss is actually being in the classroom and actually being a part of the growth of the next generation.
Yeah.
That's super
amazing.
cool.
Yeah.
So do you do anything like that now? Still, or is this restaurant keep you too busy?
In my spare time, I actually do a lot of tutoring. So you can find me at the library a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
And then
And what do you tutor?
everything.
Kids, Brian.
Everything.
Kids. Yeah.
Adults who think
Exactly.
we're actually children still.
Math, reading, writing.
Okay.
For the most part, for
Nice.
elementary kids.
Very cool.
My nephews, I tutor them a lot. Actually, Sal's nephews, I've tutored them a little bit.
That's awesome.
And I actually am subbing in Douglas County.
You
so
are?
you can
Amazing.
see me in the
Oh, that's awesome.
I know. I don't sleep ever. So if I'm not here, you'll probably find me in a classroom
In a
somewhere
school,
here in
at
Castle
the
Rock.
library.
That's
something
okay.
else.
I heard something on the radio today that apparently if you do red light therapy, it helps rejuvenate not only cells, but it can help if you're not getting enough sleep. I'm not a doctor. That's not endorsed by
But
anybody.
I think we're going to try that on
I
the
think we're going to have
podcast.
to try it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Brian and I are going to get cute little masks.
Red light?
That's right.
We're having a
Red
little
light.
spa treatment. Yeah.
Can I be on that podcast?
Yeah.
I need a little
For sure. On our red light therapy episode.
She'll be the first person we ever invited back twice for
Perfect.
episode 3.
That's right. Exactly. I love it.
Okay, we're
That's
going to
awesome. I really think it's cool that you're still living out that passion that you have, outside of this. You're still giving back to the community that way. I think it's a great secret that most people wouldn't know.
Because you don't think about somebody that's currently owning a restaurant or a business, especially a restaurant.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm tutoring and I'm also going back and doing that. But if that's where your heart lies, I do think as a business owner, and I work, I do luxury hospitality consulting, but you can teach as a leader.
Right.
But if your passion's really around next generation youth, kudos to you for getting back there and actually doing that as opposed to, well, maybe someday. No,
too
you're
busy
taking action and doing it.
Yeah.
Sleep's overrated. You can sleep when you're dead.
That's right.
Exactly.
Fine. That's what coffee's for.
Yeah.
That's
Exactly.
what coffee's for.
And red light therapy.
We may have to get one of those Oreo Speedwagon milkshakes. All right, we're going to do a speed round of questions now. These are short answer.
Yep.
Okay.
Right,
Yes
short
or no?
answer.
First thing that pops in your
First
head.
thing that pops to your
That's
head.
right.
Favorite place to vacation?
Cabo.
Cabo
Cabo.
San Lucas.
Nice.
I
Love
like it.
Are you a skier, snowboard, or hot chocolate in the lodge?
Skier.
Nice.
Skier. Very nice. Me too, by the way.
Which mountain?
Snowboard scare me.
I have the Epic Pass this year. I've been going to Keystone. But
Very
I
nice.
like Breckenridge. I
Yeah.
like Copper.
Brecken
I mean,
Fridge.
you really can't go wrong with any
You
of
don't
those.
like it?
Oh, I love Breckenridge.
Oh, okay.
But I call it Brecken Fridge because I'm freezing cold every time I go.
Every time?
Every time.
Oh,
Every
okay.
time. Could just be me, though. I'm very delicate.
Okay. Fair.
No, I'm not really.
You are delicate.
My wife's like, yes, he is. He's absolutely
Just
delicate.
in the mornings.
Jen, thanks. That was for you. Coffee, tea, or something else to kickstart your day?
Coffee.
Coffee?
I'm
How do you
an
take
addict.
it?
Black.
Black coffee.
Black coffee.
Which is not how Tim
My-
Haverstick, our previous guest, took his coffee. Coconut, 4 pumps a latte. We love you, Tim. He's like frou-frou coffee, and his wife's like, I drink black coffee.
Yeah.
That's so
So
funny.
black coffee, all right.
My kid tells me that nobody actually likes black coffee. I'm like, there's a few people that are out there that actually do.
We have so
Yeah.
many great coffee
Do you
shops. in
want
our
to hear the
community.
story
I love it.
about how I drink black coffee?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely.
Okay, so during COVID, I lost my taste and smell because I got COVID.
Oh, right.
And I was like, I'm not going to waste my calories on creamer.
Makes
And
sense.
so,
I love that.
And I need coffee. Coffee, that's part of my identity is coffee.
Right.
I have 4 cups of coffee every day.
Gotcha.
And so I was like, I'm not wasting calories. I'm going to drink
calories
it
are money
black.
at that point, right?
Yeah, I
it
can
doesn't
taste
matter.
it. So and I never went back.
That's
so
awesome.
it's a
Amazing.
thing. Yeah.
COVID converted her.
That's right. COVID
Uh,
coffee drinker.
Beer, wine, cocktail, or mocktail?
Ooh, I'm gonna go with wine, but I do love a good margarita.
Nice. Ooh, me too.
Summertime.
Margaritas, that's where I would go with it. I love margaritas.
You do
A
love
margarita
Margarita
in
wine.
Cabo.
Cabo.
I drink Sauvignon Blanc.
Okay.
White, dry. The drier, the better. Goes
Nice.
along with my black coffee.
Exactly. Okay, dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Dogs. Nice. That's the right choice, really. Sorry, Chris. And
Sorry.
your cat.
Sorry, Betty the cat.
Sorry, Betty.
Cat guy?
I've had them for my entire life.
That's awesome. I think
We
that
travel a lot, so we just
Yeah.
having a dog would be
Well,
fun.
that's
yes,
true.
no, I agree with you because cats are so low maintenance.
You
And
neglect them.
dogs, it's like every time I want to go somewhere, even for a night or for a weekend, I have to find
It's a whole
something with
thing.
the dog.
Yeah. That's
When I
true.
need to experience dogs, I just go to Brian's house,
Yeah.
jump up in your lap, and yap.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we're brainstorming stuff, and I'm like, why don't I want to do a dog podcast? It's so strange. Most important speed round question:
Yes.
favorite burger at Crave?
My favorite burger is the Flaming Tiki.
Oh, tell us about it.
Have
Yeah.
you had it? Habanero mayo, which we make in house with fresh habaneros, guacamole, pico de gallo, deep fried jalapenos, pineapple, pepper jack cheese.
Amazing.
Good.
I actually have had it. I don't normally like pineapple on my
Oh, really?
burger, but when I ordered it, Aletha, this was 6 years ago. It blew my mind.
Life changing.
It absolutely
Yeah.
blew my mind.
Wow.
And I got it because, which makes me sound like a fat kid, which I was. I was like, I'm going to try every burger at Crave. And I still haven't tried every burger yet,
No.
but because I have favorites like Sin City
Oh, yeah.
and Love Stinks that I go
It's
back
hard
to.
to like get away from those.
It is because they're so good. It feels like I'm like being unfaithful to my favorite burgers. But I went out on a limb because the server up there at the Highlands Ranch location, when it was open, recommended it. And I said, okay, I'm going to trust you. And it was lights out. Fantastic flavor. The sweet, the heat, it works so well.
Okay. Yeah.
I love that's your
I love
favorite
it.
burger.
Yeah, it was my first burger ever. when
Did
I
you
came
breathe
here.
fire after you eat it?
Do I breathe
Yeah,
fire?
or is it
Yes.
not that spicy?
Yes.
Yes.
No, well, it did. We make the habanero mayo fresh.
Okay.
So it depends on the batch
Depends
of
on
habaneros
that.
we
That makes
get
sense.
in.
Okay.
But I don't think I like spicy, so
Okay.
I'm a horrible
I
judge.
probably would die. I just fall over and die at that point. I can't
Yeah,
do
that's
spicy.
you and I differ in that.
Yeah,
in how
for
we
sure.
do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife would love it though.
Yeah,
So.
it's good. Yeah, it was the
Fantastic.
first burger I ever had here, and it's still my favorite.
That's awesome.
So last thing that you get to do, and we seem to be kind of ending most shows this way
Yes.
in the second show that we've done, is you get to ask Brian and I each a question. And we have there's no prep for this.
That's right.
So what would you like to know about Brian? What would you like to know about me?
Yeah.
Okay, personal or professional?
Whatever you want. Yeah, it's an open book.
Okay. I want to know how you got this podcast started. That's probably a question for both of you.
That's
Mm.
good. You want to take that one?
Sure.
Is that for him or me? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, go for Chris.
I'll take it. So last summer, I had this crazy idea pop in my head that I wanted to do something for our community. And more importantly, I wanted to do something that threw back to like the old days of like local news, local newspaper, and it being about your community, not about what was happening, thousands of miles away. And so this idea popped in my head of doing a podcast about Castle Rock, in Castle Rock, for Castle Rock. And in that, within 15 minutes, and I didn't know Brian that well, but I really liked him when we interacted. I was like, man, that'd be really fun to do with Brian Cowdery. And I sat on it. That was July. I sat on it for 3 months and was too nervous to talk to him about it. And I don't really get nervous, but I was nervous.
Well, I'm pretty intimidating.
So intimidating.
It's
Not
tough.
true. And one day at one of our Connecting Over coffees that we go to every 2 weeks, I pulled him aside. We were at Cough 33. Pulled him aside, said, I have a crazy idea. And asked him if he wanted to do this, if he'd be interested. He didn't even hesitate 2 beats.
Oh, that's
And I was like, absolutely, I would love to. Thank you so much for asking. And that was late September, early October.
Yep.
And our inception day, we call it our anniversary. When we started this, officially we met October 10th and started planning for the first episode, which released like 4
This
days
week?
ago.
Yeah.
okay.
So that was where the
That's
idea
awesome.
came from. And there was never any other person that I wanted to do it, which is weird because again, we're not BFFs. We'll probably turn into that, but
Yeah.
we're not BFFs.
We're trying.
but we're trying hard. Yeah, we're crushing hard at each other.
We
But
haven't really defined the
I was
relationship
like,
yet.
will you podcast with me? And I wasn't on our knees.
That
but
is so
close.
funny.
And I loved his love for our community.
Yeah.
He's so about relationships and getting to know people more than surface level. But more importantly, I loved how he didn't hesitate.
Yeah.
And so that to me was a really good sign that this would work.
Okay.
It's an interesting story on the flip side for me, like just like you and the previous owner, right? Like it was kind of a comment. I had been thinking about Castle Rock for a long, like doing some sort of podcast. Wasn't sure how I put it together. wasn't sure I could even do it on my own, and I was like, I really want to do this, but like it's got to be with the right person,
Yeah.
And so I've been thinking about this. I've done another podcast in real estate as well with a mortgage lender, so we were doing that for a while, but I was like, I really just want to be more about community. And so I had already been wanting to do the same thing. So that's why, as soon as he said yes, I was like, I knew Chris well enough to know he'd be perfect. As you can tell, he's got the gift of gab. He has no shortage of words, and he's good at that, which I love. So we're different enough, but similar enough that it just made sense.
That's
and
awesome.
so that's why we're literally the #1 podcast we joke all the time in Castle Rock, because we're the only one.
Because we're the only one.
Okay. Do you guys have day jobs?
We do.
We do have day jobs.
Yeah.
Is this just a side gig?
Something fun that we wanted to
That's
do.
so fun.
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
hospitality consultant, and I do presentation and leadership coaching, like one-on-one.
Okay.
And then
And I'm a real estate agent.
Oh,
So,
yes. We just
Yeah.
talked about that.
So
okay.
obviously helping people buy and sell homes, but
Okay.
really, I love it. I really feel like it's my purpose and calling to
Oh,
be an
cool.
agent and help people through all of that
Yeah.
in the process. We've been through and invest, we've done our own investments and things like that. And so I really see it as like a way to just come alongside someone and help them through that
Right.
whole journey, wherever they're at,
Okay.
and hopefully for life.
Cool.
So, yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
so he's
Absolutely.
a relationship guy. That's what you want in a real estate agent. Somebody that
Yeah.
like cares about you and is
Exactly.
connected to you.
Right.
It matters.
Yeah.
Totally.
It really matters.
Exactly.
100%.
So a couple things. Thank you so much for spending the day with us. We
Yeah.
really
Well,
enjoyed
thank you
it.
for coming.
Yeah.
We wanted to remind our viewers a couple of things. You can like and subscribe this video on YouTube. You can also find us basically anywhere that
We've got
podcasts are
it
available.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
So you can subscribe
We're
on
like,
there.
there's Visa, and then there's us.
That's right.
Pretty much. And one of the things we wanted to let you know, by liking and subscribing, we want you to become a Castle Rock insider. So
That's
if you like and subscribe to the podcast, you can stay up to date on people and businesses in our community, because it's not just about where we are today. It's about
That's
the
right.
human beings that are behind what make our town successful and really thrive. And we've been so fortunate to spend the day with Aletha Roundy here at Crave Real Burgers.
Yes, thank you so much, Aletha.
Yeah, thank
It's
you
been
for
an honor to
coming.
be here. Thank you for the hospitality.
Of
You've been
course.
amazing.
Of course.
Definitely.
Thank you for
And
coming.
you are now officially a Castle Rock Insider.
So welcome to the club.
That's
Thank
right.
you.
All right. We'll see you all next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
That brings us to the end of another episode and a great conversation.
We hope you enjoyed getting to learn more about our community and the people of our town.
If you want to become a Castle Rock insider, all you have to do is like that video that you just watched and go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We're also on all the social media channels. You can find us there or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time inside Castle Rock.